Curry just flicked that ball to the rim and it dropped in.
No, this ain't that team and that ain't that team.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Geometrically, that should not have happened.
It's a different team.
I'm just telling you, man. I got PTSD from seeing this dude too many times in the playoffs.
We're a different team. They're a different team. It's a new year. We're a different team. They're a different team.
But none of it mattered. The Warriors' suffocating defense had the entire city of Houston behind bars like Travis Scott on tour with Kendrick Lamar. Steve Kerr stuck to his shenanigans, aka no JK, no problem, even with Alperen Sengun backed by 7 Rockets. Is the series already over before it has even begun? Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Switch Culture. Did the Warriors capture lightning in a bottle? If so, this might be the end of the Houston series. The Warriors went in with a plan against the Rockets, to force Sengun into their actions and expose him defensively. The Rockets, on the other hand, planned to get Sengun's matchup, Draymond Green, switched off him in order to exploit mismatches. Despite the size difference between Sengun and Draymond, they clearly respect 6'6" Draymond Green's defense at the 5. In their last matchup, the Rockets were able to restrain Steph Curry, holding him to only 3 points, giving Amen Thompson the nickname Curry Stopper. Well, everyone's a Curry Stopper until it's time to stop Steph Curry. Because despite that, and the fact that their lineup outside of Sengun were all players known for their defense, they were not about to hold Steph Curry to single digits twice in a row. Steph Curry was able to find his rhythm and went off for north of 30 points. Jimmy Butler was able to balance getting the supporting cast involved and finding his own, putting up a respectable 25. Most impressively, the Warriors did this with one hand tied behind their back. That is, Jonathan Kuminga, the team's 3rd best scorer, didn't see a single minute of playing time for the 3rd game in a row. While this can be a good sign, it can also create problems down the road. As for the Rockets, they did not play nearly their best game. While Sengun dropped 26-9, no one else showed up offensively as the rest of the 8-man rotation struggled with finding the basket. While they played well defensively, they'll have to figure out how to score at some point. Unless Green becomes a reliable closer to take pressure off Sengun, they might find themselves on the wrong side of a 2-0 lead to start this year's playoffs. Can they recover in Game 2? Let's take a look into how the Warriors pulled out the win in this game to secure home court advantage and how each team might adjust going forward. Before that, however, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Switch Culture for the most analytical and entertaining NBA content on the planet. Now get ready. You're about to get While the Warriors had a great win, the excitement should be tempered. By all accounts, this should have been a blowout. The Rockets shot just 55% on their free throws, 21% on threes, and 39% from the field. While some of their three-point shooting and low field goal percentage could be credited to the Warriors' defense, they were missing a number of open shots. As evidenced by their free throw shooting, guys were having a rough night getting the ball through the hoop. They didn't take as many threes, were driving to the basket, but the shots just wouldn't fall. They hunted mismatches with Steph Curry, but with only 7 points to show for it at the end of the game, Jalen Green was a non-factor. It was a very good defensive game by Steph Curry for sure, but you can't help but to wonder how much difference it made considering the wide open shots that were missed. Since the game was so close, the fact that the Rockets shot so poorly and well below what they're capable of doing should be a sign that Golden State should not let their guard down. They caught the Rockets slipping and will have to do more to win the next game. The Rockets had 11 more shots, a total of 87 to the Warriors' 76. They out-hustled the Warriors on a ton of plays, out-rebounding Golden State 22-6 on offensive boards and 52-36 overall. If this is a sign of what's to come in the later games, all the Rockets need is for their shots to start falling. Even in such a tough game for Houston, the Warriors almost conceded a full 23-point advantage. They allowed the Rockets to come back into the game as they wiped out a 23-point lead in almost a single quarter. More talented teams, or even the Rockets themselves, won't be as forgiving in another such scenario. It's not often that the Houston backcourt will combine for less than 20 points. Had the Warriors not built up equity in the second quarter, today's analysis might be slightly different. The biggest highlights for the Warriors in the win in terms of production was firstly, Jimmy's play on both ends of the floor. Along with his 25 points, he had 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals while committing only a single turnover in 42 minutes. As for Curry, he had 6 rebounds and 3 assists to go with his 31 points. He turned the ball over a number of times, but considering the coverage Steph Curry gets and the fact that he was on the floor for 40 minutes, this is actually not bad. It's up in the air what they'll get from the rest of the players at this point. However, as a group, they'll need to do a better job on the boards against Houston. While the Dubs were scrappy on defense, the Rockets were determined to win those 50-50 balls, something that's necessary to go far in the playoffs. Now here's an interesting analysis. As I said earlier, Şengün led the Rockets in scoring and rebounding, but only had 1 assist. This is important to note because Alpi averages 5 assists per game in the regular season. This is another signal that made it obvious the Rockets just weren't ready for the Warriors, who played a very physical game with them. The Warriors switching on defense, jumping the passing lanes, and getting deflections kept Şengün from being that playmaker, taking away one of his biggest, most important skills. Something he will have to learn to combat as he gets more experience. If the Rockets make the adjustment and come prepared for the Warriors' next game, where they're actually able to play the way they've played all season, they might surprise Golden State. The problem, however, is that the Warriors are doing this while holding the Jonathan Kuminga card up their sleeve. As long as the Warriors are winning, I'm not expecting that Steve Kerr will use this card. As a matter of fact, unless they lose at least 2 games in a row, I don't see JK coming off the bench. So what does this mean? JK not getting minutes is a sign that Kerr has given up on getting him to fit with Jimmy Butler, at least until the team gets desperate, or next season, whichever comes first. Considering JK is a restricted free agent this summer and there are teams salivating at acquiring a player with superstar potential, next season might be too late. So if anything will develop, we'll likely have to see it happen before the end of the playoffs. While the Steph and Jimmy pairing makes the Warriors formidable, their ceiling is lower without Kuminga. If the Rockets hit the Warriors with a 1-2 punch over the next couple of games, I'd expect Kerr to give JK a shot, as this early win against Houston buys Kerr some equity to have that experiment for maybe a single game before time runs out. Considering JK will have missed a number of playoff games and, in my opinion, be very unprepared, it could spell disaster for him going into the offseason. If they do lose 2 in a row to Houston, however, it's most definitely a sign that they need their young athletic wing sooner rather than later on. Talented teams like OKC and Boston with multiple players that can get it going on any given night are going to be tough without a third option. Before either of those teams, they'd still have to get through the Lakers or the Timberwolves, who are again a tough defensive team. The Rockets did beat the Warriors at Chase Center, while they themselves only lost 12 games on their home court this season. A win for the Warriors on the road is huge, so how do the Rockets respond? There isn't a lot you can do about shots not falling, and shooters will always shoot. So just off that alone, I expect Van Vliet to be better than 4 of 19 from the field and 2 of 13 from 3. With that in mind, what they should do is build off what worked in Game 1, namely running actions through Şengün and trying to get Dillon Brooks a few more looks from deep. Between Pods, GP2, Butler, and Draymond, the Warriors have a great switching defense that is tenacious when players are locked in. By all means, hunt mismatches. It's unfortunate for Houston that they get the Warriors in the first round because Steph Curry has his legs underneath him, so trying to get him on switches, as is evident, probably won't be as successful. They'll need better ball movement, most definitely better finishing, and better driving and kicking when they run through Jalen Green. While Green is a decent finisher, the Warriors have too many defenders that can make getting to the paint difficult. If he can't get his shots to fall, this can single-handedly end the postseason run for the Rockets, as they just don't have enough talent to beat the Warriors without him. 3 for 15, 0 for 4 from deep, and only 2 assists is not going to be good enough to get the job done, however. The Rockets are heavily dependent upon him being a factor to have their best shot of winning the series. Right now, however, it's a Warriors series, but that doesn't mean they can relax just yet. The Warriors will struggle if one of either Steph Curry or Jimmy Butler has an off night. Tough to imagine as both players are elite closers, but again, that's why you need the X-Factor Jonathan Kuminga to offset these uncertainties. While these issues might not impact the Warriors much in this series with Houston or even the next, they could show up against a more talented team in the conference finals or even the championship series if they make it that far. Let me know your thoughts and predictions for the series in the comments below. I have the Warriors winning in 4. Just be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. Thanks for watching. Till next
It's a
time.
Curry three. Ring it up. Curry with a triple.
He's having wars over here.